Hello, Isolation Nation. What's going on? Ben is going to be joining us later. Unfortunately, right now he's grounded. He was a 9-year-old kid yesterday, and he drank, and his parents got real upset. So anyway, we're happy to have you here. As always, I'm going to do both Ben's part and my part. Ben's part is done. Do I have a weird prop somewhere? I don't know. Here's a pen. That's all I got. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to support the show...
You didn't ramble enough, Steve. You need to do 3 more minutes of rambling before you introduce yourself.
That's a good point.
You're not doing
you
Ben's
guys
job at
ever
all.
think of stuff in the world and things? You guys ever consider that there are items around?
Okay.
Anyway, if you want to support the show, please do so. Top right of the screen is our Venmo. You could PayPal at livefromhome.com. Of course, you could super chat on YouTube. Throw in some Facebook stars or some super hearts on Twitter. Most of all, we appreciate PayPal and Venmo because those sites don't steal them from us. But point is, ladies and gentlemen, the third leg of the tripod, even though I'm only one leg, please welcome the quadrupod tripod. Whatever. Chris Bowers, everybody. Chris Bowers.
Hey, you did a good job doing both jobs, Steve. You're real close. You're real close to your camera. I don't know what that's going about there, but hey.
I'm redoing my studio. So
okay.
New angles.
So new angles. All right, we get up close and personal with Steve Hofstra. I like it. All right, nice work. All right. All right. Well, hey, I'm excited to be here. We got another great show. Tomorrow is my birthday, so I'm excited to be here. So I'm off tomorrow, which is nice because we're gonna be drinking all day. So I'm coherent today. So let's have a good show. Rachel, how are you doing?
I was just saying we decided to give you tomorrow off for your birthday. It was a programming decision that we all made.
Well, you don't know this, but when we started the show and decided what shows we were going to be,
Wow.
when we decided what days we were going to do shows, Steve, 4 months ago, I looked and saw when my birthday was and made sure we didn't do Thursdays because this year my birthday was on a Thursday. If you don't think I didn't plan that.
For Thursdays off.
Oh, yeah.
God damn it.
For sure I did that.
Yeah. You
All right, Rachel's dogs are fighting.
Ahead.
Rachel's dogs are fighting, so she's got to go solve that.
What a start to the show, guys.
Oh,
what a start to the show. But we got an overnight game, right?
Yeah, we do have a fun overnight game. The overnight game was, let me find it, was wish on my enemies. So it was what would you wish on your enemies? And there were a lot of good ones. Adam Meisenheimer, this is one that I would not like. Every time you go to the bathroom to handle your business, someone starts banging on the door telling you to hurry up. That is my biggest fear, and that would kill me. So that would be a thing. If you wish that on your enemies, that'd be pretty badass. Renee had one for all of us. Renee H had, maybe have a double chin in all of your selfies, no matter the angle. That was me before I grew the beard, so that hurt a lot. May you never find out what's in the box. That was also a thing I would wish on my enemies. And then... this is for Steve. May you roll your suitcases through unattended airport dog shit. So that was something that was good.
I also liked Jeremy Day had may you always have to wait for a minimum of 28 minutes on hold. And I'm like, Jeremy, who are you calling me? You're only waiting 28 minutes. That sounds like a dream.
He's from Maine. He's from Maine. There's like 11 people there, so there's not much hold music.
He's calling the mayor.
Andrea Gordon also had, may there always be a man around to say, oh yeah, whenever you take the first bite out of a banana, which I thought would be awful terrible. That seemed because I know there is that dude in the world, right? That just every time a girl bites the banana, he goes, oh, that's got to be terrible. But the one that would hurt me the most, and you guys know this, is from Diana Gonzalez that said, when you pick up a slice of pizza and all the cheese slides off. If that happened to me every time the rest of my life, I'm not sure I can handle it.
But wait, no, hold on, Bowers. Which direction would it slide to? Because if it slid into your mouth, I think you'd be fine with it. Because then you're like, good, I don't have to eat this bread.
Slides in your mouth, that means it's super hot, and now your whole mouth is burnt, and you can't eat pizza for another 3 weeks. That's the problem.
That's keto.
All right.
That's the problem. Yeah, I would go keto. I do eat just the top off the pizza when I'm dieting, but I don't like it when it slides off the pizza. I'll give you that. Rachel, are the dogs shut up? Did you figure that out? Is she gone?
Yeah, for now. A little grumble here and there, but it's fine. A lot of people in the chat, they're missing baby Ben, so maybe when he gets here.
Ben's coming. Don't worry, guys. Ben actually did stage this just to see if people would comment that they missed him. So you guys are doing a great job.
Exactly. We do have a game today. What's the game today, Steve?
today's game, and as always, if you want to participate in the game, the way you do it is you could just put in an entry on any of the various places that we're streaming. But if you put your entry in with $5 or more, you will be eligible to win our prize, which is a ticket to the front row of this show, a ticket to Nowhere Comedy Club, and of course, copies of all of our albums. And today's game is company menus. We were joking around yesterday about the LAPD having a if you're being attacked, press 1. And so the idea behind that
if you're being attacked by police officers, press 2. So that was the joke yesterday. If you're being attacked by
3 police officers, press 3, and that's just the whole menu. Yeah, and so today's game is various menus for companies. What is the auto menu? Pick for any company. Barry, do you have an example?
So it'd be like if you called Little Caesars, like, thank you for calling Little Caesars. If our pizza made you shit your pants, press 1. That would something like that.
Or like Spirit Airlines, be like, for $1, press 1. For another $1, press 2. Like that kind of thing.
Exactly. Or if thanks for calling Spectrum. If you've been out to your house 9 times, you still don't have service, press 6. That kind of stuff. So that's what we're looking for.
6.
Yes. So just menus for restaurants or any business. Just what would the ridiculous menu option be on their phone? That is the game. So let's do that. And while we're doing that, let's introduce the front row. Steve, let's introduce all those folks.
All right, the front row, as always, the lifeblood of the show. We appreciate you being here. We've got Stephen Trask, we've got Andrew Lee, we've got Meat and Gravy, I think that's Jess, we've got Tam, we've got Jan, we've got Gary, we've got Frank. Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to join us in a future front row, you can do that, laughfromhome.com, or you can do so by being part of the Patreon. The Patreon is patreon.com/SDSC, and we're happy to have you all here. Tam, can I ask what your background is right now? Can we throw Tam up for a second?
This is my expression when Baby Ben comes on.
This is...
Reindeer eggs? That's pretty... I like it.
Terrified egg.
Terrified egg. All right. We also have 2 amazing comedians today. We have 2 amazing comedians, both new to the show. We're getting some new blood in. Amy Silverberg is here. Amy, how are you? Say hello, Amy.
Hello. There we go. Hi, everyone. I'm in my kitchen where I don't cook. I just use the oven for storage. Happy to be here.
We're excited. We also have Mike Eshaq is here. Mike, say hello. How are you, buddy?
Hey, what's up, guys? I got a microphone that doesn't work. What's popping?
Amy's got an oven that doesn't work. That's perfect.
And a dumbbell.
We're made for each other.
And we're all comedians and none of us work, so that's how this all works. Rach, we got anything coming in before we get going?
Yeah, we do actually. So Andrew in our live audience, $20 to the show and said, "Happy birthday, Bauer Briefs. May your suits be filled with the wackiest designs."
I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate it.
And then a $2 tip from D Universe. So thanks, guys.
Nice. Excellent. Thank you much.
So, Steve, you said you had a game, another thing to talk about, like the sleep thing you did the other day?
Well, yeah, so it's not a game. This is a thought experiment. You could put it that way. All right, a thought experiment. So this is something I want to talk about today. So, and maybe this comes from the fact that I've been quarantined by myself for 4 fucking months, but the idea is if we're creating a world where when you have sex with someone, you could potentially gain part of their skill set. Okay?
Okay.
Hell yeah.
That's the premise. But you gain 5% of whatever their skill is, but you don't necessarily, if they're bad at something, you get 5% worse at what you do. And you also don't know which skill you get. And you only get 1 from each person. Okay?
Gotcha.
I'm willing to give away Just Lay There, which I'm happy to give to any.
See, I was thinking that
this
could be
women
any
could
skill.
Women could come real fast if I slept with them. That'd be nice if they picked that skill up. Then they would come.
It's not just bed skills, okay? It's also like if you fuck someone who's super smart, you potentially could get a little smarter. But if you fuck someone who's super smart, who also refuses to put anything away in the cabinets, then maybe you pick up that skill. So, like, whatever it is, and so my question is, how would that change things? Would people have more casual sex or less casual sex? Because on one hand, they want to get skills. On the other hand, they're afraid of losing what they have. So that is my question.
I think it's interesting. You think I determine whether I have sex or not. That has nothing to do with me.
No, I'm saying the people around
Say
you.
no.
Will they
You think I
decide-
say
will they
no to
decide
anyone who's
differently?
willing? If anyone says I'll have sex with you, I'm like, sounds good. I don't care their skill set or not. You really think I'm turning down sex from anyone?
But what if that person what if
Still
that
yes.
person was a very bad driver?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
You're naming everything I am. Don't put things away, bad driver.
I think that some people, it would make some people more judicious about who they have sex with and some people less judicious. But also, and some people would try to fuck hot people to get hotter, but also some people would want to fuck ugly people who are really good at shit.
Oh wow! So you'd be getting you could look uglier. Oh no, that sucks.
Yeah, you could totally look uglier. Like, what happens if you fuck someone who's like really ugly, who's fantastic at math? You might pick up the math skill, or you might pick up the ugly skill.
I will absolutely sleep with a woman with huge jugs, which I myself have always wanted.
Amen.
Finally, I can get them.
So that's another wrinkle to it. You might sleep with people like from a gender you're not even attracted to, just to pick up their skill.
Right. I mean, I like the thought experiment when it was just about intellect. Once you started talking about looks, that's when I'm like out of this fucking experiment. Nobody's fucking me for math. It's fucking me for math.
I did hook up with a girl with abs once in my whole life, and I swear to God, I was more toned the next morning. I think my abs felt bad. I tried to shape up a little bit. They're like, oh God, we're embarrassed. We got to fucking tighten up. Overnight, they got. I don't know what happened, but it was.
Don't you gotta? Isn't like what that old saying? The more cushion, the less pushing. So maybe you were pushing.
I don't know. I thought it was more cushion for the pushing. I don't think it was more cushion, less pushing.
Oh, that's a Michigan thing. That's a Michigan thing.
In Michigan, it's more cushion, less pushing because you don't move around a lot.
There's a lot of cushion in Michigan. There's a lot of cushion.
Cold up there.
Mike, I think that has to do with moving a couch. I don't think that's a sex thing.
Oh my God. Well, yeah. So I don't think it would affect my behavior one way or the other, Steve. I don't think I would. Yeah, I'm not. I don't have that kind of decision-making skills. I think
like the question now to me is like, how would women feel about it as opposed to men? Like, it's already hard trying to get a woman to sleep with you now. I think it's just gonna end civilization.
Yeah, that's a good point, Mike. If she's like, anyway, and you're bad at math, no, I'm not gonna risk it. Yeah, you're you're not gonna get as many. There's no benefit of the doubt there. Like, you're gonna have to be perfect, more perfect.
I own a calculator.
Like, it might be something where like hot dudes don't have the advantage anymore.
Oh, I see what you're doing. You are hoping a woman will sleep with you, so they're better at carpentry or whatever.
Yeah, something really specific. I'm like, I gotta sleep with an auditor. My taxes are coming up. Something really. I need to find one guy who can install a hook.
Yeah, you start collecting all the skills.
Particular stuff that I need.
By the way, Amy, that's hilarious considering there are like 7 hooks in your frame right now.
These came with the apartment. I think if I open my oven, you'll see that I just have books stacked up. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna do it. I know.
Amy,
I eat over the sink like a divorced dad.
Amy, you got me thinking that people will start fucking seasonally. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like
I'm gonna fuck a hairy dude in winter.
Huh?
I said I'll fuck a hairy dude in winter.
You know, exactly. Be warm. Yeah.
Like those people that work at Macy's for Christmas just for the discount. People just fuck a guy that works at Macy's for the discount. I get what you're doing.
Mike, so you're saying that like every March accountants will get laid like crazy.
I think so. I think people will take advantage of that. Like, you know, like Christmas time, sugar daddies be getting it, you know?
Yeah, I get what you're doing.
You know, that type of shit.
Oh.
That's I didn't even think of it that way. Like the idea, I'm trying to think of what else would seasonal, like what lifeguards at the beginning of the summer, like but they get laid anyway, so it doesn't matter. That wouldn't change anything.
Yeah. But to become a better swimmer.
Knowing me, I'd make some mistake and I'd sleep with a guy with a kiddie pool instead of a regular pool. I feel like I fucked my whole summer up.
Be like, and then
Why did
suddenly
I like someone funny?
That would have been better. All right, well,
We had a
that's
funny
food.
comment from Matt in the YouTube. He said, it might backfire. If a guy sleeps with a hot woman, he gets great eyebrows, but she gets his foot odor. Checks out.
Well, see,
That's what I'm
what
saying.
what I've always thought would be funny is when a couple got together, if their weight was the same. So if one lost weight, the other one would gain weight. They would just lock their weight in at whatever it was combined. So like if the woman lost a bunch of weight, the guy would get fatter, right, and vice versa. So like, you know, the woman loved to be skinnier, so she'd let her husband go because the fatter he gets, the skinnier she gets. But then like if he starts cheating on her, he starts running.
I think
know,
you
if she
just
starts- if she-
described my parents' marriage. He lets himself go and the woman gets hotter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, but if you felt like she was cheating on you, you'd start running. She'd be like, "Don't fucking run! You're making me gain weight." He's like, "Whatever, I got this." And like, he loses 15 pounds, she gains 15 pounds. It'd be kind of a fun battle, I think, as a couple.
How would you find out what skill you got though? Would it be an app? Would it be like would your phone?
everybody would have it above the bed. There would just be an LED screen above the bed, and
I
somebody
thought
would
Mike
just be
meant
like,
that he
bowling.
didn't know. I thought Mike meant he didn't know what skills he himself had. I was like,
I
no
know.
one's no
Know
one
what
has
he got.
told you
Yeah, I get
your
it. Like
entire life.
I'm saying, you bang a chick, and then all of a sudden you speak Spanish. You're like, "Oh, I got that one. Cool, nice." Like, but you didn't know till you like went into a situation like, "Why do I speak? Oh, I had sex with that girl."
Yeah,
Oh, that makes sense.
We're gonna do a stand-up set in a second, but when we come back from the stand-up set, I wanna do the same experiment, but with no possible negative skills. So you can only pick up good skills, and I'm curious how you think it would change shit. But we got to get to a stand-up set soon, so let's not
All
get
right,
into that
Rach, we got
yet.
anything to catch up on before we get to Amy?
Yes, I do. So we had Allison donated the show $3 and said, "Baby Ben gave me nightmares, so fuck him. Can I tip the queen?"
Nice.
And then we also had King Madman, $20 for the show. And hey, Steve, I've got 2 questions. Will you do stand-up on my birthday with my family? And 2, I've been editing for a few years. I was wondering if you'd look at my videos.
I have 2 questions.
For his
1,
birthday.
how much? And 2, how much?
Fair. We're caught up.
I'll come to your birthday party if you join the Zoom. That's one of the things. Anyway, if you join
Yeah,
the
that's on our
Patreon.
Patreon.
On the
Barris will
Patreon,
go to your
I'll zoom
birthday
to your
party.
birthday party. I don't give a shit. All right, so we're gonna get to our first comic. You've seen her on Comedy Central. You're over there, very, very funny. Amy Silverberg, everybody. Woo!
Thank you. Thanks for having me, you guys. I told you I'm in my kitchen where I don't cook. So happy to be on the Zoom. I know we were talking about hot guys. Before quarantine, I went through a breakup and I told myself that I was going to have a slutty winter. And it turned out my version of a slutty winter was just sleeping with one person and feeling guilty. So I'm still seeing him, started sleeping with a dumb hot guy. We have absolutely nothing in common, except that when he takes off his shirt, we both stare. And I look across. I teach intro to writing at USC. I'm a big reader, and I was telling him this, and he goes, "Well, I don't read. Reading makes my eyes tired." Okay, wild. I was like, "Well, working out makes my body tired." And he goes, "No problem. I could train you in the gym and you could train me to read." Whoa. Are you telling me that you're illiterate? Which I like, it turns out, because I do teach for a living. So I found that to be attractive to me. I was like, we can make that happen. I met one of his friends, and his friend was a urban planner. He had made aqueducts. Thought that was wild. We were talking about it, and the guy I'm seeing goes, "Woof, man, that's all geek to me." I said, "What did you just say?" He goes, "It's all geek to me." I was like, "All geek to me? That's not a saying. It's all Greek to me." I go, "You mean to tell me your entire life you have thought that anything you don't understand is for dorks?" And he goes, "Yeah, all geek to me." Anyway, it's now been 7 months. I'm continuing to see him. Not sure what will become of me. I told you guys I teach at USC. Lately, I've been having to teach a summer school class via Zoom. The kids are always like, let me have a tour of your apartment. And I'm like, this is it. There's not much. USC doesn't pay me enough. I taught a class called The Literature of Los Angeles, and the only final exam that they had was just to turn in their favorite quote from a book about LA. That was the only big assignment. One of my students turned in the following quote. I'm going to read it to you from a book about LA. At least I have her love, the city she loves me, lonely as I am, together we cry. That's not from a book. That's a song lyric. That's the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's a book. It's a song book. I was like, I'm such a bad professor. The students don't even know the difference between a song and a book. And I was like, listen, the least you could do was just analyze the lyric, because actually, it's about heroin. Under the Bridge. That's the song. It's about heroin. He goes, under the bridge? I thought it was about a troll. Great. Things are going well. Listen, before we stopped going to bars, right before quarantine happened, I was in a bar. I was listening to two men in their 30s talk, harrowing. One had just had a baby, and the other man kept saying, would you rather your daughter be sexy or not sexy? And the other guy was like, I can't answer that. She's my daughter. And the other guy kept progressively drinking. He goes, sexy or not sexy? Come on, would you rather her be sexy or not sexy? And the guy's like, I can't answer that. She's my daughter. The other guy drinking more, sexy or not sexy? Sexy or not sexy? So strange. I left. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I told my dad, I was like, isn't this so weird? This guy kept asking if this other guy wanted his daughter to be sexy or not sexy. My dad goes, I think you're very sexy. Who are you, Dad? Joe Biden? Way around to get to the Joe Biden punchline. Thank you. All right, you guys, I have to go. I'm going to say one last thing. When I was in college, I had a boyfriend at the time who told me he wanted to use a vibrator on me during sex. Pretty progressive for college. He then proceeded to pull out a shoulder massager from Sharper Image. Now, when I used to be able to walk through malls, I would always get a little hot and sweaty. Thank you very much. I'm Amy Silverberg. I've had fun. Had a fun
Amy
time.
Silverberg, everybody.
Thank
Amy
you.
Silverberg. If you want
What do I do
to,
now?
just stay on. You're good.
Okay.
Just stay and hang out. You're totally fine.
If you want to tip, the tip jar is open. You can do so laughfromhome.com, or of course, that's our PayPal. You can Venmo top right of the screen, or you can super chat. Amy, couple of things. First of all, hilarious, but also you're blonde and your dad thinks you're sexy. That's more of a Donald Trump, I think.
Oh no, but my dad's Jewish.
Oh, then that's definitely not Donald Trump. But also, like, the dumb hot guy that you're dating, like, at first I was like, oh no, what if he sees this? But then I'm like, nah, he'd have to figure out how to use Zoom. Like, or YouTube or something.
He's a really thoughtful person, in case he's watching.
Yeah.
Well, I think what I think is great is I think you guys are trying Steve's experiment. Like, you're going to help him read. He's going to make you more in shape. You're actually trying to gain each other's skills. And I think it's nice that even though that he was really dumb with his answer about the Los Angeles book thing, you still dated him, which is nice. So, you know.
Okay, that was a student, but it could be everyone.
I know you don't date students. I'm kidding. That's a joke we're making, obviously.
I know. Watch USC come in. Suddenly USC's in the chat.
Suddenly, like, we have a message. We have a super chat from USC Dean.
Truly my worst nightmare.
Yeah.
That was a joke. Rachel, what
do we got come in?
Yeah, so far I'm just collecting now. We've got in Kinshasa $4 for each comic. So thank you for that. And then we had an anonymous $50 per comic.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Awesome.
tip
Very
for
cool.
Amy. So.
That's awesome. From USC Dean. Okay, so if
you're
it's
saying,
only good
Steve,
things, if you can only pick up good things now, all right? So you could, like, learn to read or whatever it is. If you can only pick up good things, how do you think it would change it? There's no risk now.
It would make everything better.
Yeah, but I'm saying, do you think that people would just, like, fuck indiscriminately? Because
I would still sleep with everyone who said yes. Yes, I would still.
I'm talking about people with options, Bowers. This is an experiment about people with options.
I can't even think about having, like, that's how far away from having options I am. It doesn't, I can't even deal with the hypothetical of the idea. I would be like, nah. Like, I said,
like, what if someone's gross but they're a physicist? You know, like.
Yeah.
That would make the world a better place.
I don't even care if they're a physicist. I'll still in. That's the point you're not getting. Like, I'm not a.
All right, I'm trying to get you to in someone else's shoes that are less ridiculous than the shoes you typically wear.
If I were you, would I sleep with more people if I could pick up skills? Yes.
Not just me. I mean, there's people with way more options than I have. Like, I'm saying, do you think that it would change? Would sex become like a currency?
I honestly think this is more of a question for women. So
if I slept with a bald man, would I go bald?
What do you say?
No.
There's no negative now.
Oh, right. Okay. I'm so concerned with.
Mike is triggered. Mike is triggered. Mike is triggered now.
Sorry.
For sure, I'm not getting fucked. I'm not getting laid. No one's gonna fuck me.
I myself have always been attracted to Mr. Clean types, so I cannot.
Oh, there you go.
But if she did,
hello.
This show just got both clean and dirtier at the same time. But Mike, if you slept with her, maybe you would grow some more hair.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I guess the question is for women.
I'm testing the other hot guy. See how I said other, which I thought was nice.
That was good. Yeah, that's very nice.
I mean, I'll be another other.
By the way, pointing it out made it less nice. Just so.
Thank you.
I think I've told this story before, but we used to have two friends. We had a guy named Dave who was just a regular looking dude, and then another guy showed up who was way hotter. We called Hot Dave, and then eventually we called the other Dave Regular Dave, which was
poor Regular Dave.
And then Hot Dave hated being called. He hated being called Hot Dave, and he moved away, and he came back. But he knew that's how only way I would know him because I didn't even know his last name. He's just a guy that hung around a while, and he left me a voicemail one time. He goes, "Hey Bowers, it's Dave." Hot Dave. Anyway, I'm in town. He was mad that he had to call himself Hot Dave. It was awesome.
Like if Steven's thing actually worked, he would be the hot guy to call you, be like, "Hey man, you want to fuck?"
I'd be like, "Sure, Hot Dave, let's do it."
You want to get some of this
It's
hotness?
wild to think about. In high school, I hated being the funny Amy, and now I'm like, I can make money. Well, not gonna lie, I can't make any money.
Touche.
We'll make some money. Rachel, speaking of money, we got any more tips coming in?
We do actually. So we've got Renee tipped Amy $5. Tam in our live audience $10 and said, Amy, a friend mentors an honors program. A student withdrew because he couldn't do his report on the Hamilton musical. She wanted him to read the book.
I would have let him. So enroll in my class.
Well, now we have Matthew Plummer $5 and said, Amy, I'm sitting here with the USC dean. Sorry, it seems like we just missed your SEP. Hope it went well.
I love our audience.
Peter Amsel, 6 Canadian for Amy. Great set. Andrew, $20 in our live audience. Amy, this is for the scary image of my genitals being smacked with a back massager from Brookstone. You can traumatize me with laughs and giggles any day.
Yeah. Wait, was that from a woman or a man?
A man.
Oh, okay.
Obvious.
It's always the men who want to be traumatized.
New experience for us. Women get traumatized all the time. We've never had that happen.
Women are like, just hold me, and men are like, yeah, make me think about this for years.
We also had DJ tip Amy $10. We had a couple tips for the show. Kanasha said, I'm a fan of Steve Hofstetter, so 7 goes to Steve. And Robert Lynch, $15. So Bowers, so he can buy himself a real pocket square.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I got you, Bowers.
Thanks, man.
Now we're caught up.
All right, very
All right.
cool. So here's the question. So I think it's more for a woman because I think would you pick up skills? Would you sleep with people you didn't want to pick up skills? Rachel, is that something you would do? That's Steve's actual question.
I wasn't listening to what you. What'd you say?
So the question is like.
It's like a skill.
It's a skill.
If you could have sex with somebody and pick up pronunciation skills, for instance, like would you do that? Would you take the bullet for that?
No. I'm gonna sleep with who I want to sleep with because they're attractive, not because I'm gonna learn how to
Pick up skills.
talk better.
Talk more good. I ain't gonna talk no more good. So some guy, I don't need to sleep with some dude to talk more good. God damn it. Yeah. So that's your answer, Steve. Women are not gonna sleep with you because you're good at woodworking.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying. First of all, I'm just gonna roll right by the pun about being good with woodworking. Also,
see, so she doesn't need it. She's got her own shit.
What I mean is like there are people, and this is women and men. Bowers, I know you cannot imagine a world where men turn down sex, but it does happen. I've been quarantined by myself for 4 months, so I'm remembering like a distant past. But the idea of like, would it make someone more attractive then to someone? Because I know Rachel's like, oh, I'm gonna have sex with someone who I'm attracted to, but physical attraction isn't the only thing.
Oh my God! Every male comedian who has a hot girlfriend, I'm like, girl, you're not gonna get funnier by being with him. There's gotta be some. There's gotta be some other reason.
I feel personally attacked now, but my point is, no, I don't. I mean, the point. I mean, Steve, to your point, the joke you make is that like comedians, something happened to us that made us funny. That's the whole point. If you're not funny, congratulations. I mean, that's a Steve joke. I mean that. So I get the point. I'm just saying, I just can't imagine a world where a woman would say, "Would you like to have sex with me?" and I would say no. I just can't imagine that world.
I don't want to live in
This is
that
a
world.
flawed premise for Bowers. I should have waited till Ben was on the show.
I just can't. I just can't fathom.
But what happens to like, what was it, sapiosexuals, people who like people that are smart? Those people are going to have a lot of STDs, right?
Oh, yeah. By the way, like when I see anyone use the word sapiosexual on a dating app, I'm immediately like swipe left because I'm like, that is a person who you're attracted to smart people because you wish you were one, and that's why you're using a big word. Like that's who that person is.
Yeah, right.
Like that person is not a genuine. They're I'm a sapiosexual. What does that mean? I'm attracted to intelligent people. Be like, oh, you mean you're a decent fucking human being? Like what?
Well,
Yeah, I don't know.
I definitely think. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was saying.
I didn't have anything to say. Mike, what were you gonna say? You have anything about what? I don't think about
Nothing.
sapiosexuals. I didn't know that was a thing till right now. Does that make me stupid or smart? I don't know.
I mean, it makes you not on dating apps. Apparently, you're not on dating apps because that's where I learned it.
Yeah, you haven't been on dating apps. You've been with Chrissy since before dating apps were a thing. I don't think they used sapiosexual on Friendster. Like I don't think that was.
The MySpace didn't mention it. That's all I know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there's definitely stuff that like people put in their profile that are like immediate no's for me. Like especially if someone describes themselves as funny, I'm just like, no, you're not. No. Funny people are just
sarcastic.
Just be funny. Oh, I'm fluent in sarcasm. Ugh.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Ugh, gross.
I only know that because of how many female friends have told me they've gone out with guys fluent in sarcasm. Like they got to go back to that country. Then they're the only ones who need to be.
That would be amazing if there was a country of sarcasm. That'd be so great. Like their national anthem would just be like, yeah, I guess we love it here or whatever. No, nothing on that. All right, fine.
I'm doubting what sarcasm is. I'm trying to make that same joke. I don't even know what sarcasm is. That was so good, Steve. Is that what we're supposed to say?
That would have worked. That would have been a good tag. Yeah.
We're the greatest. That's their national anthem.
I think if someone puts in their profile that they're smart or they're funny, instead of just being smart or funny, like that's it. That's an immediate left for me. like not even. It doesn't
I don't know
matter
about
who they
dating
are.
profiles, but I did own a comedy club for a while, and I will say that anytime somebody sent me an email telling me how much they kill and destroy, I knew they did neither one of those things. Like, you don't need to tell me that. You know, like
Nothing will
headline me,
make
I kill. It's like, yeah, everybody kills, man. This is the major leagues. Like, that'd be like calling the Mets and saying, I can catch pop flies. Well, yeah, everyone fucking can. This is the big leagues. What are you doing? Like, you should.
By the way,
hope
as
you
a Mets
kill.
fan, not everyone, but I will say we've had a couple instances, but that is true. Nothing will make me watch a comedian submission video quicker than them saying that they kill, but I'm not watching it to see how much they kill, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
Like, I'm absolutely watching this be like, ooh, how much of a train wreck is this going to be? How many people die in this train wreck? This is going to be
I
amazing.
feel like if you're not self-loathing, you're not funny, and I would love to see that in a submission.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've always said that the comedy's this weird balance where you have to love yourself enough to think people are going to pay to listen to you talk, but hate yourself enough to get better at it. So
Yeah, my old podcast was called High Confidence, Low Self-Esteem. And that's what I truly believe it is. Because it's like, I'm the best. Please think I'm the best. Like, that is what it is. And whenever I've been in a green room and like there's been like a local comic that gets, first of all, if the local comic is not brought in by someone to be introduced to you, already they're not funny. If they're a local comic that just walks into a green room like they own the place, I'm already like, oh, who's this asshole? But if someone brings them in and is like, oh, this person is, such and such, and they introduce them, you could tell if they're funny before they ever get on stage, just by how they carry themselves.
It's not necessarily about them being actually funny in the green room, right? You mean just like you can just sense by their energy and how comfortable they are.
Someone who's funny doesn't need to prove to you they're funny. They just know
if you're a woman in a green room, people will ask you if you're dating someone on the lineup, and then you prove that you're funny.
Yeah,
that's yeah.
And then you'll be like, no, I'm a comedian, and they'll be like, oh.
It's a fun thing to do that, by the way, to a male comedian and totally fuck with them. Like, that's super fun to do.
Whose boyfriend are you?
Exactly, because like they never get asked it.
I love that. Let's start doing that. That's how we do our part. Next time you're in a green room, go, so who are you dating on the show? And he'll be like, I'm going to try the comics. That'll be a good little blow for feminism. Let's do it. I'm in. I'm doing it from now on.
And now, never say that to someone again, asshole. Never say that to someone again.
That's awesome.
That's actually why I think the anti-mask people are so anti-mask, because now they don't know which women to tell to smile. That fucks their whole rep up.
That was their whole game. That's how they got dates.
They don't know that I have Joker makeup underneath my mask.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know who they're supposed to tell to smile, so it fucks them all up. Rachel, we got anything to catch up before we get to Mike? Oh, she's currently not here. Well, let's get to Mike, and we'll do her tips after that. So coming next, you've seen him on Netflix. You're very funny. Mike Eshaq, everybody. Woo!
Mike Eshaq.
Yeah.
Thank you. What's up, y'all? So my name is Mike Eshaq. My last name Eshaq comes from a place called Yemen. If you don't know, like Yemen has got a rich history. It's a place in the Middle East that introduced the world to coffee, camel jumping, and Arabs that can pass for Puerto Ricans. That's how we got in here, guys. Because of the Muslim ban, Yemenis can't come into America anymore. It's okay, we're coming into San Juan. Especially during hurricane season. We love hurricane season, That shit just like washes us on shore. Now I can call myself Rodriguez and move to Miami. I was born and raised in Detroit. Used to be the murder capital. Now it's cute and adorable. I don't like it. I live in LA now, and every time I come back to Detroit, like I'm back right now, it just keeps getting cuter and cuter. These hipsters just ruined Detroit, man. I'm telling you. I miss the old Detroit where you can go to the street corner and you could buy weed from a black guy in a fanny pack. You go there and you can get fucking sushi from a white guy in a curly mustache. So much has changed. Literally, how's this? My friend Matt got mugged in Detroit 20 years ago. I drove past that spot 2 days ago. I saw a white girl running, and she wasn't running from anything. She was just running. I don't like it, man. It really pisses me off. And then it gets even worse. How's this? Just the other day, I saw cops. We have cops now. Fucking adorable. That's what that is. A little bit about myself. I served 4 years in the Marine Corps. And try being a Marine with this fucking face. Like, people will say dumb shit to me all the time. Like, one time this girl was like, wow, you're a Marine? Oh, wait a minute. United States Marines? No, bitch, ISIS Marines. They had better benefits, you dumbass. Hey, being a Marine right now is, I'm really troubled by Trump because, like, I've been patient with him, but then once he started saying he was going to use the military on us, that really pissed me off, this military man. But, you know, as a liberal, I will tell other liberals, I think we should still give him a chance because sometimes the president will say things that I like. Like after that school shooting in Parkland City, Florida, he got on TV and he said, if I was there, I would have ran into that school even if I didn't have a gun. And I was like, that would have been great. Bro, you should have done that. You know, I feel bad for white people right now, man, because you guys just fell off hard, man. Like, you guys were on the top, and now it's just like I never thought this day would happen. The day as an Arab American where I can turn on the news and who's the bad guy? White people. Finally. For 30 years, you turned on the news. It was just different versions of this fucking face doing horrible things in the world. And like, people have enough nerve to ask me if I support terrorism. No, these guys are fucking up my Tinder game. And I was putting up some real numbers. Now I gotta pretend to be Guatemalan. It's fucking stupid. But right now it's white people's turn, man. And I feel bad for white people now. Now everything you guys do makes you seem racist to us minorities, you know? Like how's this? My buddy Sean, he's a white guy. He's not racist. But when he wears camouflage, he's racist. Doesn't watch basketball, racist. He's a hockey fan, super racist. I mean,
Oh shit.
everything you do as a white guy makes you racist now. I really feel bad for white people. Everything you do makes you racist. How's this? If I see a white guy in a pickup truck, maybe racist. Truck is lifted, 100% racist. Truck has lawn chairs, he's KKK. If the truck has truck nuts, you're the Grand Wizard of the KKK. If that truck has fuzzy dice hanging from the mirror, that guy's lying to you, he's Mexican. Hey, it got better for people who look like me. It really did. Because think about it. Years ago, you saw my face and you were like, this guy better not be on our flight. Now people see me and they're like, I think the Uber's here. Think about it. Years ago, this face was taking down your flight. Now it's taking you to your flight. My friend, I have water, I have charger, I have the bubble gum. Give me 5 stars, have a safe flight. Thank you.
Mike Eshaq, everybody. Great job.
Mike Eshaq. Let me tell you, Bowers, if you book one more Yemeni comic on this show, it's like every episode, man, every episode. Mike, great set.
I thought he was Puerto Rican, Steve. I thought he was Puerto Rican. My bad.
After this, I will say, after this episode, people are going to be changing their dating profiles and selling their trucks, let me tell you. If you want to tip Mike, please do so. Top right of the screen, you can Venmo, you can PayPal, laughfromhome.com, or, of course, you can Super Chat. Is Rachel back with us yet?
I'm back. Spectrum is a piece of shit. I guess Ben today.
To disconnect your service, press 1.
All right, can I catch up? Let's do Mike's tips, and then I'll catch up on the other stuff. So, Mike,
Okay.
we had Kinshasa, $4. That anonymous tip for $50. DJ, $10 for Mike's set. Great shit, dude.
Thank you.
And we have Tam in our live audience, $10. Mike, Semper Fi from a Navy vet. I'm sorry you have to read this, Rachel. Semper Fi. God damn it. That's why she apologized.
Semper Fi? You're always going to charge them? You're always going to charge them a fee. Always fee.
I had friends that were Semper Fi's in college. It was one of the hot sororities. Semper Fi was one of the hot sororities in my college.
Oh my God, Alpha Semper Fi, they were great.
Semper Fi is hilarious. Should be the motto of a bill collector. Semper Fi. This is great.
That's what we're talking about. We were talking about if she's gonna have sex with a guy to pronounce things better. I said pronounce. Rachel pronounce things better.
Fuck you, Bowers.
I was channeling Rachel. I was pronouncing things wrong.
That's funny.
We have more tips that I'm very related.
Did anyone tip Mike and say hora?
That's hilarious.
Oh no! Oh no!
Who's saying oh no, oh no?
Semper Fi.
All right, we also have a lot coming in. So, Ron Wayner, $5. Mike, I heard Detroit filled a pothole for the first time in 15 years. What a shame.
Right. Right, man. This place is worse than Baghdad sometimes.
And then we had Dave Adler, $5. Mike, great set. Thank you for the laughs and thank you for your service.
Thank you, sir.
We've got Tyler
And
Stevens,
Mike was a
for Mike.
Marine. Mike was in the Marines, so the
What a
Marines
maroon.
Uh,
What a maroon.
Do you guys have like a rivalry with the Air Force or?
Joe
Don't
Mike,
fuck with the
$5.
Navite.
Great set, Mike.
Thank you.
Wait, the Navite weren't those in Avatar?
That's exactly what they were, yeah. For bell bottoms too. The Navite.
And then we have Peter, $6 Canadian. Mike, Uber set.
Thank you. Semper Fi.
And then Amanasala, $20. Hilarious Mike, shout out to Yemen brother.
Yay! Hagal Yemen. Hagal Yemen.
Got-
Victory to Yemen.
Gavin Johns, $5. Mike, thanks for a great perspective and laughs.
Thank you. Thank you.
Matthew Plummer, $5. Mike, you killed it. And then to catch up on some of the other ones, so there was a couple tips for Amy that I didn't get to read. It was Rob Lynch, $10 for Amy. Her set was really good. And then Ron Wayner, $5. Amy, USC just released an announcement that bonuses will now be issued as gift cards to the Sharper Image.
By the way, Tam in the comments just said that the Marines have a rivalry with Amy.
Well, when Rachel sent me Amy's information, she just typed it and she wrote any Silverberg, and I was like, so any Silverberg? I can book any Silverberg, that'll work out. She's no Amy, specifically book Amy Silverberg. I'm like, okay, sounds good.
My dad texted me recently and said, "Any, please call emergency." And I was like, okay. And then I called and he goes, "Mom made spaghetti."
I just love the idea that in an emergency, he's like, we have no time for M's. This is an emergency.
Yes. I think he has that autocorrect, not even my real name.
Yeah. This is an emergency. We have no time. All right.
This is why you're a hard man to get close to, Dad.
He still has T9 and he missed the M and went to N and was like, fuck it, I don't have time.
Yeah.
We also
Rachel.
have Christopher Capo, $10 for Mike. I used to work at a company downtown. We called it Fake Detroit because it's bullshit down there with all the cameras and shit being safe and whatnot.
20 years ago.
Yeah,
20 years ago.
I long for the good old days of Detroit too, man. Let's start shooting people. Let's do it.
I was in Detroit like 20 years ago, and some people took me to Greektown Casino. Do they still have that?
Oh yeah, that's not going anywhere. I think Greektown Casino runs the city now.
It was so bad that it was like 5 slot machines and a homeless guy. Like that was the. Yeah, it looked like an empty food court at a mall. Like it did.
The homeless guy
Really?
paid out. The homeless guy paid out better. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
Yeah, you'd had better luck getting change off of him. It was yeah, this is 20 years ago. It was like dilapidated and run down. It was terrible.
Wow. Well, now it's totally different. Now they actually pump some money into it. So I don't remember it in the early days because I think I was too young for that.
Yeah, I'm old and gross. Rachel, what else do we got?
That made me laugh.
Guillermo, $5. Mike, my wife is a Japanese Brazilian who can pass for Moroccan. I'm Brazilian and pass for French. I feel the confusion.
It also depends on what part. It also depends on where in America you go, because like if you look ethnically nondescript, like if you go to New York, they'll assume you're Puerto Rican. But if you go to LA, they'll assume you're Armenian or Persian.
Yep.
And if you go to Texas, they'll assume you're Mexican. And so it just depends on where you go. And they'll just be like, well, you're not one of us, so you must be one of them. And like that.
Yeah. When I go to New York, I can actually pull girls because they think I could be Puerto Rican or Dominican. But now I live in LA. Everyone thinks I'm Armenian, and they just don't want any part of me. So I get it.
Mean.
It's true though. Just and true
mean
though.
of them.
I want to say I love Armenians. I want to stand up and say that for all the women in LA. I speak for us.
We also have Razor, $5. For Mike, my father was 28 years Navy, retired CWO for Hoorah to you, fine sir.
Hoorah, semper fizzle.
We have Renee, $5 for Mike. Courtney, $5 for Mike. I'm sorry, Rachel, but I gotta say Semper Fly.
Nice.
It's a Semper Flea, actually.
Circle
Red Hot
wrote
Chili
under the
Peppers.
bridge. He wrote under the
Yeah.
bridge. So Semper Fi is a perfect reference. It fits both comics together.
We also have Robert Lynch, $10 for Mike, who is awesome, funny shit. Appreciate your service, bro.
All right, thanks, guys. Thank you.
Cool.
We've got.
They mean your service to the show, by the way.
Yeah, not for what I did in the Marins.
Yeah.
Tasha, $2. Mike, my dad is a Marine. You never stop from what he says. You're all nuts.
Accurate, very accurate. That's why I smoke a lot of weed, man. It keeps it.
Yeah. I smoke a lot of weed too, but not because I'm a Marine, so I don't know what that does. But I don't. Sorry.
This keeps me from killing people. You know what I mean?
Keeps me from eating chips.
Oh, it doesn't stop me from eating chips. I just eat everything now.
No, it stops you're not eating chips. If I don't smoke enough weed, I don't eat enough chips, and I don't feel
see.
good. If I don't eat enough chips each day, I have problems.
Okay.
He doesn't want to break his all chip diet.
Yeah.
I gotta sleep with you, get that chip problem.
You can just go to the gas station for that shit.
That's true.
No,
We also
you don't do
have
that.
Sebastian, $5 for Mike. Hey man, what's your favorite flavor of crayon? And then he said Semper Fi, F-E.
My favorite flavor of crayon would probably be burnt sienna. I don't know why.
Oh, hell yeah.
I would think
Very
it would taste kind of like rhubarb or something.
Probably good on wings. That's probably good on chicken wings, I would imagine. Some burnt sienna.
Yeah, it's like you get like a smoky flavor.
Yeah.
Nice.
little too smoky, a little burnt smoky flavor.
Yeah.
Blackened sienna. It's Cajun.
All right, we've got
Rachel.
a lot of generals to catch up on.
All right, cool.
Generals, I think. So I can scroll to the top of this goddamn list. Okay, so we've got Dave Adler, Chris Bowers. At game night with friends, there are 2 Daves. I always bring new Oreos, so I am Oreo Dave. The other is normal Dave.
If I got to vote, I would rather be Oreo Steve than normal Steve.
Oh yeah, regular Steve would. Yeah, he would.
Yeah,
Oreo Steve's all right.
nothing worse than being normal. And Oreo Steve, that means you bring happiness to people. I would totally take. That's a good nickname.
Yeah.
It's not like you're deciding between like regular Dave and creepy Dave.
Yeah,
like you're Oreo Dave.
As long as you're not bringing crackers in your Cracker Dave, I think you're probably fine.
Nobody wants Cracker Dave at the barbecue.
Yeah. Cracker Dave does not get an invite to the cookout. That is for sure.
Absolutely not.
I have an uncle, Cracker Dave, and I'd like to unload him.
Wait, was that a reference to Uncle Cracker?
Wait, is that your uncle?
I wish.
We also had Jess in our live audience tip Mike $25 and said, Mike, thanks for the ride to LAX. I'll let you know when I'm coming back.
Who's that?
In our live audience, Jessica, one of our Patreons.
I'm meat and gravy today.
Thank you.
I'll let you know.
Jess and I decided Meat and Gravy is my stripper name. That's why she's Meat and Gravy.
That's you going
Appreciate
LA.
that, Jess.
That's your stripper name?
Yeah. So I eat a lot of Salisbury. Steak when I'm on my low carb diet, and so. But the guy, I don't know if you know this, the guy who invented Salisbury steak was named James Salisbury. He was a doctor in the Civil War that created the first low carb diet. And had this Salisbury steak that stopped dysentery, and they credit him for helping win the Civil War because we had less dysentery on the North than they had in the South. And so I feel like I'm him reincarnated. So she decided Meat and Gravy would be
I
best.
like how you were like, I don't know if you know this. I was like, I don't think anybody knows this.
You don't know the history of Salisbury steak, Amy? You have never looked that up?
I know you guys are really big military meat buffs.
Like, is this a well-known fact?
It's such a specific niche of people. Be like, if you like barbecue and you also like cosplay and you also like history, put them together. Salisbury steak. That's what you got.
It's like, I thought lean cuisine Stofers invented that.
No,
Yeah.
Jim Salisbury, baby. Jimmy Salisbury.
I thought
American hero.
I was going to a reenactment this whole time. Turns out it was just a Boston market. I had no idea.
All right, catch us up, Rachel.
Dave Adler for Amy. He tipped Amy from before. He thinks I missed it, but I think I read it. So now I'm just buying time to look to see what he said. No, I read it. I read it. So fuck off, Dave. Naughty Puppet Show, $2 for Sexy Steve, aka the Hot Setter.
Hey, nice.
Wait, what was it? You said it was, what was the username?
It was, I delete really quickly, Naughty Puppet Show.
That's what I was asking. I was like, Naughty Puppet Show just called me, say, I'm afraid of this right now. I'm very afraid. Be like, Naughty Puppet Show. I like his skin. No. So
what is the currency RUB? Does anybody know that?
Rhubarb. Oh, sorry, rubles.
So we got 200 of them for the show. And
We got 200
said,
rhubarbs. Great. Awesome.
They said, it's not much. It's not much rhubarbs. But I just wanted to say thank you to Steve for getting me through tough times.
Well, thank you very much for the rhubarbs. We're going to make it into a pie. We really appreciate that.
Then Kingman, $5, and he asked where the live audience tickets were, and I sent him the link. Allison,
Thank you for that.
$5, no problem. And it says, I don't want it for me personally, but can I get the upgrade to Steve's dick so I can up my ladies game?
If she wants to up the ladies,
No, he wants Steve's long dick. He's saying he doesn't want to touch you to get it, but he'd like your long thin dick that fits out a car window to pee. That's what he wants. So
Is it well known that Steve has a long dick?
it's a long
It's
skinny
been
dick.
a running joke on the
It's
show.
been a running joke
Got it.
for a while that it's a long.
wait, it may be well known, but is it well known? Well known.
Yeah. I've been quarantined by myself for 4 months. It is not well known anytime recently.
You spread this rumor about your own manhood, so you're like, I may have a small dick.
I did
But
not. No, you're not taking over the show right now to talk about my dick. This is weird.
All right, how about more tips? Andrew.
Yeah,
Andrew
not mine
tips.
specifically. And by the way,
Not yours.
before you get into more tips, just found out that rhubarb costs about $5, so that's $1,000 worth of rhubarb. We really appreciate that tip. So thanks.
I just have a quick question for the audience here. Are you guys?
Wait. Yeah,
We're
you
not
can't.
gonna let
sorry,
you ask questions, dude. That's not how this works. Sorry.
This is like my
All right, let's
class.
get some tips.
Rachel, go ahead.
That's how this has ever
All
happened,
right,
honestly.
so Andrew in our live audience had tipped Mike $20 and said, "Oorah, Habibi, way to go, great set and simply fly. I'll hotbox you out with half an ounce blunts." God damn.
Yeah, give me your address, bro. Let's do this shit. I love smoking weed, bro.
We also had a lot of generals. So Sean, $5 to the show for the helpful advice on revising my dating app profile.
Nice.
DJ, $20 for Steve. Found you a few years ago with your heckler videos and have loved all your content along the way. Thank you for constantly bringing me laughs regardless of how grim things might get in life.
Oh, that's nice.
Allison, $5. Steve, shut up about Detroit and practice rolling stops.
All I said was that 20 years ago the casino was sad, and they're like, take that back about Detroit. And Mike was like, I missed the time we were all shooting each other. And she's like, yeah, I missed that time.
Good old days.
We also have Gabby, $5. General question: what do you guys think about the Space Force?
I don't know. I kind of watched it and I just didn't think it was that funny. It was.
I think they mean the actual one that Trump was making since you're military.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, top secret. Top secret.
My favorite quote, I know I've said this, my favorite tweet, I don't know who it was from, and I wish I could remember, so if it was you, text me and I'll give you credit, but that said, I can't believe we have a president that fucks porn stars and wants a space force, and I still hate him.
All right, and then Gavin Johns, $5, and for Rachel to try and pronounce Habibi. Did I do it right?
You got it. You nailed it.
Okay. To call myself out, he wrote that before in one of his chats, and I just was like, I don't think I'm going to say that right, so I'm just not going to say it. So tipped again just to make me say it. So sorry.
How could you hate a guy who has a space force and fucks prostitutes?
Oh, there he is.
Ben's
don't understand.
back. It's Trump Ben.
What's
Baby
up,
Ben-
fellas?
Baby Ben aged about 700 years just now.
Yep. It's been a rough evening. It was a long night. How's the show been? Fill me in. Can you repeat everything?
Yeah, we're going to start soon, but your mic, by the way, is super hot right now.
Super hot.
Yeah, Ben was.
It's not loud. It's not loud. It just looks good. It just looks really good.
Yeah.
How's it now?
Much
Well,
better.
we learned that Bowers will have sex with anyone who asks him. We learned that. We learned.
And then Rachel thinks that the Marine slogan is Semper Fi. That was fun. And now you're caught up. That's pretty much all we got.
Yeah, that was just we got to those two things.
I had already read all that in the script. I was wondering if you guys tangented it all, but I guess not.
It's script day. So
I'm
Rachel's
glad
gonna
you guys
catch us up.
stuck
We're
to
gonna
it.
play the game.
Yeah. So Ron Wayner, $10. Looked up James Salisbury. Wikipedia says James Salisbury believed vegetables and starchy foods produce poisonous substances in the digestive system, which were responsible for heart disease, tumors, mental illness, and tuberculosis. Makes sense, Bowers. Read up on the guy.
No
I know.
wonder
No, I
he's
know exactly
Bowers'
who he is.
hero.
He is. He's my hero. He's anti-vegetable,
Everyone else is.
pro-steak.
Would you like to meet anyone? If you could meet anyone who's dead and have dinner with them, people were like, Abraham Lincoln seems fascinating. Some people were like, what about Jesus? And Bowers is like, hey, you know the guy who didn't like vegetables? I want to hear from that guy. I want to learn more.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the 10-year-old I babysit just got a hold of Wikipedia and was like, vegetables are bad.
I've not had a fruit or vegetable since 1996, Amy. If you get that, that's a real thing. I'm not making that up. That's a real deal. I'm very anti-vegetable.
Yeah,
How-
Amy, Bowers would put vegetables in his oven the way that you put books in yours, just for storage.
How is it possible? That's the wrong beginning of that sentence. But ironic, I would say, that the guy that hates vegetables so much did end up getting buried in the ground.
What?
Think about it. Is
Is
he alive?
Is he become a vegetable? That's what you're saying?
Is he dead?
Yeah, he was born in 1840.
Right. So he got
So
buried in
probably.
the ground, which is how vegetables live. So he got the ultimate treatment.
Okay, you're right. That's where vegetables live, is in the ground. So.
Saying.
Well, they sure as fuck don't live in your house.
Steve said that very aggressively. Steve said that like he was so angry
I was
on
just-
behalf of. He's like, well, they sure as fuck don't live in your house.
By the way, they would live at my house because I wouldn't eat them. They die at your houses, you pricks. You're the ones killing all the vegetables.
That's
I don't
true.
kill shit.
We're mass slaughter vegetables. I've been responsible for a genocide, or as we call it, a salad.
Yeah, you kill a cow's essential nervous system. You kill it, it's dead. You eat a carrot, just because you can't hear it scream doesn't mean it's not dying.
Yeah.
True. Did I miss some reason why Steve's head is enormous?
He's a new camera angle. I don't know. It's
I'm
freaking me out,
redoing
too.
where my studio is, and I haven't finished everything yet, so I had to hurry up. And
Did you move it into a much smaller room? Oh my god.
Rachel, let's catch
no,
up so
just
we
the
can-
camera is zoomed a little bit so that it gets all the green screen in one shot from this angle.
Got it.
Okay, and then Naughty Puppet, $5, just because Steve is very handsome and hashtag gingerlicious, and Mike was hilarious, and Rachel has a great smile.
All right.
Okay,
All right. Naughty Puppet
right.
likes a lot of us. Cool.
so let's do the game.
Do it.
So I'm going to read the unpaid entries, and then starting with our live audience, those are the entries we'll vote on. There was a lot of stuff that came in today, so I was only able to grab 2 unpaid entries. The first one I liked was Jeremy Day's Air Canada. To tell us to fuck off, press 1.
And tell us to fuck off. Mash your keypad.
And then Tesha Lee, our resident Spectrum employee, dial 5 for our customer service complaint line, and then immediately get hung up on.
I like it.
Okay, live audience. So Tam, do you want to go? Oh, is Tam not? Maybe she's not there. I always just assume. Let's go to Red Baron.
She was here before.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have thank you for calling Trader Joe's, brah. If you need assistance, press 1. If you need to speak to a manager, sorry, Karen, I've gone surfing. Later.
Nice. And I like the shirt. The shirt from a tour of mine that actually happened instead of this year's. Awesome.
Gary, Frank, Jan, do you guys have any? No. Okay.
All right,
So
cool.
I will-
Let's go to the videotape.
Read. All right, so Emily Judkins had we're seeing a theme here. Air Canada. Flights to Toronto press 1. Flights from Toronto, press 2. All other flights, press 8. Loops back to the beginning message.
The thing is, when you get the Air Canada menu and you press something, it doesn't go anywhere.
And by the
on
way,
the
I probably
tarmac.
couldn't pronounce that well, but it was A.
Oh,
Air Canada,
nice, like
get it?
E, H, yeah,
Yeah,
eh.
yeah, there we go.
All right.
And then Savannah Martin, SDSC. Press 1 for a theoretical question from Steve that's going to fuck you up for a year and make you question everyone you ever slept with.
That was not in the script. That was not. in the script.
Question did its job.
All right, Diana Gonzalez, on behalf of Raz. Thank you for calling Ben Glebe's presidential office. Our press secretary can't answer because he's never here. If you have a message, text 484848.
Very
How
odd.
was that
My,
about-
my,
How was that about Glebe, but it was only insulting to me? That's no fair.
wasn't it? I thought that was perfect.
Yeah.
All right. We also have Emily Judkins, Bowers LLC. To hear a joke explained, press 1. For descriptions of pocket square versus lining, press 2. How to dispose of vegetables, press 3. Renee Hutchinson. Thank you for calling the 2020 complaints line. Our menu options have recently changed. Please choose from one of the following 86 options. If your country burned down, press 1. That lane boy. You've rang FedEx. If you want to be on hold for 45 minutes, then hear somebody not caring for 20 minutes, press 1. Jeremy Day. Toys R Us. If you have a grown-up but still want to be a Toys R Us kid, press 1. And we have Jeremy Day, the Heinz Corp. If you would like to catch up on all of our latest news, please press 1.
Ketchup bun.
I'm so confused. I want to cheer and boo at the same time. Why do I feel these emotions?
You want to throw a tomato at that entry, don't you?
Yeah.
Smash it and add sugar to it.
But a
put it
finely
on.
pureed one.
Andrea. Thanks for calling Shiwi customer service. Music festival and pissed. Press 1. Call back to yesterday. D Universe. SDSC. 1. Ben to play with props. Press 1. Chris to eat a hot dog. Press 2. Make Rachel cuss you out. Press 3. Steve to take a bong rip. Press 420. Press 5.
By the way, the first 3 things will happen if you don't do anything also.
It's just for people with rotary phones. Gotta make those people happy.
Robert Lynch. Hello, you've reached Air Canada. Press 1 if we owe you money. Press 2 if you're stuck in a foreign country. If this is Steve Hofstetter, please call 1-800-FUCK-AIR-CANADA and we can help you there. Have a great day.
I love you guys. You guys are the best.
Allison has one from Michigan. To complain about wearing a mask, press bitch. To complain about our governor, press thanks that I'm alive. To complain about being oppressed, please select shut the fuck up.
I wish I had those buttons on my phone.
And we're caught up.
All right, excellent.
Nice.
Time
there
to
we
vote.
go. It's time to vote. So, let's do another way because I'm going to do the opposite. We usually do comics, but that's hard for them to vote right away. So I'm going to vote for mine first. I liked the press secretary of text 484848. That's the one I'm going to go with. I liked that one. Ben, what was your favorite one?
Obviously, that was my favorite one as well.
All right, comics.
right.
Did you have a favorite one? We'll always let Steve go last and break the tie. But comics, did you have a favorite? Mike, what was
I
your
like
favorite
the
one?
last one that was just read.
Which one
The
was that?
Michigan
Rach?
one.
Michigan. Perfect.
Yeah.
All
No,
right.
about the what you can't complain about being.
Yeah, that was the.
Yeah, that was okay.
Yeah.
Well, shut the fuck up or whatever. All right,
Yes,
cool.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Mike, what was your favorite?
Red Barons. I liked it. I liked the act out. I felt like I was at Trader Joe's.
All right.
Nice.
Rachel.
I liked Renee's 2020 complaints line.
I like that one too.
All
That was
right.
good. Steve.
And I am siding with the other hosts. I'm Glebe's presidential office, even though it was a burn on me. It was a very good burn on me. Nicely done. Did a very horrible job as Ben's press secretary, and would hold a press conference about it. But I don't know how to do those. So why did I even have that job?
Now you guys understand why I never gave Steve a mug.
Could be an Australian prime minister.
All right. So, cool. So to claim your prize, laughfromhome.com. As always, send us an email and we will give you get your prize to you. Comics. Oh wait, we got ours. Comics. Did you have any for the game? Comics.
Anyway.
No, you guys, you killed it
All right.
in a respectful way.
Rach, you
Yeah,
got
yeah,
any?
no, it was dope.
No, I don't have any.
Stephen, Ben, you got some?
I was
just have
gonna
one.
do Air Canada ones, and so I'm out. Everybody took mine. I'm done.
Ben has one. What's
Ben.
Ben's?
I just have one. Hello, you've reached Spectrum. You've reached Spectrum. If this is Ben Glebe, we will send 3 trucks out to your house either tomorrow morning or in the next several days and suck more days away from your life, and then you can go fuck yourself. Anybody else? That's 9.
Just notice that teeny hand on the mic, by the way. That is awesome.
Cool. Well, we did it, guys. Another episode in the books. So, comics, where we can find Mike, where we can find you out in the world. Give us your social medias and all that good stuff.
Mike from Detroit on everything: Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Pornhub, you name it. Mike from Detroit. Find me.
Got it. Awesome. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you being here. Amy, where do we find you at?
At Amy Silverberg, like it's spelled, on Twitter and Instagram, and I have a website.
Very cool. Well, thanks so much. We appreciate you guys being here. You can, as always, find me at Bowers Comedy. I'll be partying pretty hard for my birthday tomorrow, but then I will be back on Friday, probably hungover. So we will just at Bowers Comedy for all your Chris Bowers needs. Ben.
I have a weird plug today. Yes, I do have tomorrow night the Glebe Off the Top crowd work and improvised madness show at Nowhere Comedy Club. Please get a ticket to that if you use the code Glebe friend, or you use the code Ben10, Ben10, one word. You get $10 tickets discounted for you guys. But I also wanted to plug a project I did years ago that you can't see other than this little clip I'm going to play for you right now. And this is something that my co-hosts have not seen. This is a pilot I did, a pilot presentation for a sitcom for NBC that never got picked up, never got aired, but I just wanted to show you guys this like 35-second clip. And I think you will see why.
Wait, before we do this,
yeah.
Ben, does NBC own the copyright on this? I'm sorry to do this, but
they do not. Don't worry about it.
Okay, just making sure. Otherwise, this will fuck my YouTube channel.
All good. No, they don't own the copyright.
Right, cool.
NBC never even probably watched it. So here is a clip that you will, I think, understand a little bit more about the origin story of where something that you all know about me came from.
Interviewing me naked, it was the best dream, man. I just don't know why you go straight to Rachel. What is this? Maybe it's a welcoming party? Oh, man. Welcome.
Let me stop you right there. I'm a lesbian.
Why would that stop me?
I'm Katrina. This is Trisha.
Gary, this is Trey. Hey, you look familiar.
No thanks. What's in the box?
My plant. I got some sweaters. I could throw a book in.
Most people just brought chips.
What's in the box?
That's it, y'all.
Oh,
what's in the box? It is acting moment.
And that didn't get picked up? Holy shit. No way. Was that not a show?
I can't believe we haven't. We weren't treated to 8 seasons of What's in the Box.
That's hilarious.
Holy shit!
Nice,
well, I don't
very
want to
good.
plug anything after that. Well, you guys can see me in the Hulu's reboot of What's in the Box.
I said it one more time too, but I think the audio cut out. But it's been a mantra of mine for a long time.
Yeah, that is amazing.
So funny.
As for me, I have a director's cut of Ginger Kid coming up in 2 weeks, and then I also have a headlining show at the end of the month, both at Nowhere Comedy Club. Check it out, nowherecomedyclub.com.
Awesome. Cool. Well, audience, once again, catch up on Rachel. Sorry. Catch up, Rachel.
Yeah, that's all right. Gavin Johns, $20. Rachel being a boss and fielding all the comments like a Gold Glover, Eric Chavez. Shout out to Oakland, or Patrick Roy or Glenn Hall. Much respect. Steve Hoff, go Shard.
Nice.
I do not fault you for this.
Man.
Patrick Waugh is the name of a hockey player. It's spelled Roy. So I don't fault you for that. It's a French name. That's not your fault. That's not your fault.
Yeah, I'm not going to take that one. All right, thank you.
Semper Fi for that one. That's not your fault.
Yeah. Personally, don't understand.
That's the best one.
I mean, let me just say Roy is in the box, but whatever.
That it? Are we caught up, Rach? We got
No, we're not. Dave Adler, $1, and he said he just rewound and saw that I didn't say that tip, so sorry, Dave. I didn't rewind the show. Matthew Plummer, $5. Ben, my Apple TV YouTube app defaulted to your live stream, so I blame you for missing the first few minutes of the show. Rachel, not timely at all, but your fuck you Bowers earlier was hilarious.
How was my live stream not a place to watch it? You want to watch with more people? Is that what it is?
Near Zero, $5 for this show, and then Abby, $15. Steve, you're amazing.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that, Abby. Back at you.
All right. Cool. Well, once again, audience, thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate it. You guys are the best. We love you. We will see you on Friday. Thanks for all the old faces and a couple new faces. We appreciate it. We will see you down the road. Yeah, so thanks, guys. Another good show. Ben, we missed you, though. It's not as crazy and dumb without you, to be honest. There's not as many giggles. There's not as many giggles without the Ben, so we need everybody here. So I appreciate you. I know you had a thing, and hopefully it was promoting us, and we'll get more fans. But, yeah, missed you today, buddy. So
thanks,
hopefully I'm ready. I'll be hungover Friday, so I need you to bring your whole game on Friday, because I'm going to be hungover as fuck. So I will see you guys on Friday with blurry eyes.
Excellent. And as for me, I appreciate you guys coming in and seeing the show. As always, we appreciate all of your tips. We appreciate your support, your PayPal, your Venmo, your Super Chats, your Super Hearts, all of the things. I'm slowly in my studio.
My eyes!
Steve, could I recommend a Biore strip in your future, maybe? I don't know.
Holy Lord.
Not a red screen.
At the very least.
Anyway, bye, guys.
I'm gonna, literally, you guys, that hurt to look at, honestly. Are my eyes okay? That was so intense. Thank you guys for being here. What a great show. One of my favorites. Mixed were amazing. Top of the show banter, I think, was in rare form. And let me just say, remember that part earlier? Oh my God. And also, Roy's in the box. And also, it's just been real. You know, I felt like closer to you guys than ever today. And I wanted to thank you for being here. And thank you for being part of Isolation Nation.
I also felt closer to them than ever.
What's the pilot? What's the box of the pilot?